You want to know who is also a sociopath? And I think we can all agree on this one. It would be this dick. Yeah, that's what I think of him. He's a dick. So, communists, they're very easy to spot. If you go look at it, like anybody who knows who Bill Ayers is, some may not. Okay, he was the Weather Underground group. Okay, just like Zuckerberg, pampered rich boy, just never grows up, and are pussies. Real men do not support communism. That's why when you look at these men that support communism, they're all like this dick. They are. I'm not saying that they are. Bill Ayers and him are just alike. Like the mentality. There's no manly. I know that this country's been made to believe like that manliness isn't important. No, it's really important. It goes along with Americanism. It does. But these that's how you can tell. Communist men are never really men. They're pussies because they support dictatorships. Really, what his hope is, okay, because he admires, Xi Jinping. What he wants is to create the communist country here, and he'll be the dictator. And that, Chan, his wife, will be the supreme leader. Because, yeah, he in the middle of the compound, and he's upsetting the neighbors with this, but these people don't care. They're sociopaths. Of course they don't care. In the middle of the compound stands a 7-foot silver statue of Chan. Yeah, that'll be the supreme leader. Could you see him? And he's doing all this surveillance, so that's making people uncomfortable. But they've been dealing with all this noise, and they say he's building bunkers. Well, yeah, communists do. Look, Hamas does it. Hitler did it. They all do it. Yeah, they want to be underground. But I mean, look at how trashy this is. Like, no class, no standards, no humility at all. But there never is in those people, because again, they're sociopaths. It's just the truth. I'm trying to think. If you look at most of the tech giants, I've said before, none of them they're missing that manly gene. They can say, oh, well, we're just geeks. No, you're not geeks. You're just not manly men. I mean, you may be geeks, but I've known geeks that can be manly. Really. The other thing all of these people tend to say, many of these tech giants that people know, is that they have autism or Asperger's. Look, I've taken care of a lot of patients with. It's not like them. These are sociopaths, and they hide behind that label, and they know they're sociopaths. Look at what he's doing. He has completely disregarded the entire neighborhood. He has. Mark Zuckerberg's 14-year expansion in Palo Alto's Crescent Park has transformed a once tranquil, tight-knit neighborhood into a walled-off billionaire's enclave, according to neighbors. Yeah, the neighbors aren't happy, but then the police, because he has so much money, are kind of catering to him, and that always sucks. But and what his whole surveillance thing is going on. I think he'll make his bunker, because he wants to have corporate events too, probably with Xi Jinping. But then, couldn't you see him and all the other tech giants in their Palo Alto compound, and they're just toying with the rest of us? We're their sim characters. Yeah, but don't worry, that's not going to happen, because God's tech will. Well, I mean, it blows this away. What I think could happen, I mean, I could be totally wrong. It's just this, I could see this happening. This has come to my mind more than once, is that all the people that support communism, they will get to go there. Yeah, they'll get to go to China. See, I don't think Zuckerberg or the tech giants would like communism as much if they're actually being ruled by it. They want to be the rulers. Yeah, so that won't work out. But I think that they'll wake up one day and just find themselves, as bitches for Xi Jinping. I do. Because this can't maintain. These people are insane, okay? They're just insane. Maybe that, I mean, really, we definitely need the asylums back. There's no doubt about that. Because has he ever been a selfless person? No. Never. He has always been the same tool that he's always been. I think he probably was, born from the womb this way and just stayed this. I mean, there's just no growth. There's nothing there. He's a dick. So, and it's not a hidden secret that he's fond of the communist, China communism. He's fond of Xi Jinping. He looks up to him. Of course he would. He wants to be like Xi Jinping. Now, well, that's not going to happen here. It's not, because if they were to be successful, then the rest of the world would fall into that. And God is not going to let that happen, because the next step the communists would go to, and it would only be one generation before nobody would know Jesus or the Bible or anything. So God will never let that happen. That's how stupid these people are. That's why you don't take the very last country like America and try to turn it communist, because who you will come up against is God Almighty. Yep. Zuckerberg has angered locals in Tony, Silicon Valley enclave over sprawling 11 homes, 110 million compound. They've occupied our neighborhood. Well, it's like Hamas. It's communist. That's what they do. So really the way it should work is that all of the people in America, because God's not going to let they've taken us a lot into communism. Just realize that. That's why I keep calling it out. Like, we're not going into it. We've been under it. We just haven't been under it in a full-blown way. But they're at every level. And just like today, so Trump federalized the D.C. police. And he's talking about doing it with Chicago, too. Chicago would love it. But it's because these communists, they started this in the 60s. Really, I would say that's the biggest, where they started being violent. Weather Underground did that, Black Panthers, and they would get away with it, just like BLM got away with it, and Antifa. And the next thing you know, then your children are getting away with it, and we have a bunch of judges that never holds any of these people accountable, and that's all purposely done, just like the homeless stuff is purposely done. Because it makes you think your country's horrible. That's what communists want to do. Every little thing like that, they're that psychologically savvy. I mean, they're dicks, but they're psychologically savvy that way. So that's why Trump said today that we have to clean up the Capitol, because it's representing us. And it's an embarrassment. He's right. It has been. That's what the communists and the Democrat parties have wanted. That's the whole reason they closed the insane asylums. I mean, yes, there was a bad history there, and I worked many years ago for a community as a community nurse, and because of ACLU in Chicago, they went to court so that all these people could come out and live in the community, and in some cases, some of them can, but very few. Most, it's too overwhelming. They can't handle it. They can't even keep their places clean, and it's just. They did this, though, not because they wanted to help these people. It was to cause stress on resources. That's what communists do. They allow the socialists to create all this welfare bullshit. And, again, eventually it all... So this is what I think will happen, is that, again, the communists in America will find themselves in a communist country one day. I mean, I don't know. God will transport them there. And then any of the people in those communist countries that would like freedom will be able to come here. Doesn't that seem like it makes the most sense? Yeah. I think that's the way we should do it, right? We got to clean this place up.